So I was on Reddit recently and I came across a post in the confessions page. A young man who had been in a long-term relationship with his girlfriend for 3 or 4 years had gone snooping through her phone while he was drunk and had found comments on his size that she had made at the very beginning stages of their relationship to her girlfriends. She had made comments like, I prefer something bigger, I prefer something larger. And he had spiraled. He had been very triggered by those comments because he had some insecurities about his body or just some insecurities in general. And he confronted her and said, you know, if you're unhappy with me, just break up with me. And she did. She spent like weeks trying to convince him that everything was fine and that she was happy in the relationship and that sort of thing. And it got me thinking about the big debate on men and their size, and whether size matters or not. The funny thing about men is that, like, for example, I can sit here in a dress like this and you can see what I'm working with. You can't with a man. Men wear pants and it's impossible unless you have x-ray vision to be able to see what he's got going on down there. So discovering a man's size and what's happening down there is very much like opening a present for a woman. It's a surprise and you can either be really happy or really disappointed. That's the pervasive narrative in pop culture, right? But mature, experienced people all know that there's more to sexual enjoyment than size. So long story short, no, in my opinion, size does not matter. There are other factors that are a lot more important, like chemistry, compatibility, communication, experience. Experience is huge. You could look incredible and have sexual charisma pouring out of your pores, but if you don't have any experience, you're not going to be able to satisfy yourself or satisfy your partner. I dated a guy who was a producer on porn sets back in the 80s and 90s. I told you his story in the Mr. Hollywood video. And he told me a lot of stories about things that would go down at that time. And this was before penis pumps and this was before Viagra. You know, this was in the 80s and 90s. And he told me there was, out of all the male actors that there were to work with, who were desirable to work with at the time, you know, who would actually show up and didn't have severe drug issues, there was only one, like out of an entire industry, there was only one guy who could perform on command, like do exactly what the directors and producers wanted him to do. There was one guy, only one. So that's just, you know, to be physically, to match the part physically and be able to perform the way they wanted you to was extremely rare, like extremely rare, almost impossible to find. They just happened to have a guy like that. Otherwise, it was impossible. The other men couldn't perform that way. So performances in porn are unrealistic. We know that. I think it's common sense that we know that by now. So neither men nor women should be comparing themselves to what they see in pornography. I will note that pornography and OF have much more varied, diverse representations of women than do like Hollywood or fashion. So you can see like all types of body types, all types of women on OF, or all types of body types and women in porn. That's because I feel like men, when it comes to women and sexuality, they don't want perfection. They just want participation. They just want to see things, right? And I will remind everybody that women are not aroused visually. We don't get aroused by dick pics. Like, we don't see dick pics and then say, ooh, I want to have his baby. Like, it doesn't work that way. Men will see a pair of boobs or a provocative photo of a woman and say, ooh, I want to have sex with her. I want to inseminate her. It doesn't work like that with women. So again, visually for size, we don't work that way. We might get initially excited by, you know, opening up that present and seeing something we like down there. but that can wear off. That novelty can wear off, just like with anything else. And I want to advocate for communication, chemistry, compassion, consent, and experience. Experience, I think, matters the most. I talked to a girlfriend of mine, she's in her 60s, and she's rocking it with the guys in their 20s and 30s. And I consulted with her on this topic, and she was the one who brought up experience, because I said chemistry is the most important thing. She said experience. Experience matters more than anything else. And it makes sense. Experience can help you know that accidents happen and dysfunction can happen, and to roll with it rather than take it personally. So those are my thoughts. We should not hold up pornography or size as barometers for what we're capable of achieving as sexual beings, and for what we can achieve in our range of pleasure. And I really hope that couple worked it out. That would be terrible if, they broke up over something she said 3 years ago in confidence to her girlfriends. He shouldn't have been snooping on her phone. Kick shit up, it stinks. I'm turning 44 this month. My birthday and Persian New Year coincide, so I'm going to be spending my birthday with family, and then for Persian New Year, I'm going to be going out. The community's getting together. I will not be wearing this. I won't be wearing this. I'll be wearing something a lot more conservative. But I will be documenting the events for my Instagram so that you guys can enjoy it and learn more about it. I'm going with my dad, so don't get too excited. I'm going with my dad, and he and I share a birthday, so it'll be nice. So no, size doesn't matter. Work on your technique, work on your experience, work on your communication, work on asking, is this okay? Is this not okay? And I'm not going to say stop watching porn, because I like porn. I watch porn. But just stop using it as anything more than what it is, just a little escape to fantasy. Don't escape to it. Don't pull it into your life. I think it's really interesting that men seem to admire professional athletes whose physical prowess obviously earns them millions and millions of dollars a year, but men don't sit there and lament the fact that they can't do those things. They don't allow it to affect them the way I lost an earring. The way they do porn. I think maybe because the porn is has women involved. So let me know your thoughts and feelings down below, and you know where to chat with me, and I'll talk to you soon. Where's my earring though?